so they can understand the issue. People who don't own weapons are in favor of the SAFE Act for one reason. Very catchy title, SAFE Act. It's going to make the community safer. It's going to be better. It was implemented in part because of a tragedy that took place down in Sandy Hook. However, what most of those people don't realize, the day that the governor implemented this bill, police officers, armed police officers, legally were not allowed to go on school property for a crisis if they had their gun. Does that sound like a bill that makes sense?
Hell no.
We could go on and on for hours about the parts that do not make sense. There's only one solution to that. The bill needs to be repealed. It needs to go back to the table. They need to take a look at too many other issues. A lot of people have asked me today throughout the different events, what can we do? How can we be helpful? Just what I explained. Educate and inform your neighbors and your friends. This is not, and there's nobody in this crowd that I believe wants to have a more dangerous community for our children and for our future. We want a safer community. We're willing to work for that, and many of us have fought for that. We need to continue to do that. We need to continue to enlist the help of good, committed Americans to continue to be good, committed Americans to make this a better place to grow our families, to have futures for generations to come. I'm going to leave very quickly before I introduce our next speaker, but first, before I do, everybody got up and gave statistics. Many people gave quotes. And a lot of scholars will say a good presentation, a good speech, will start with a statistic or with a quote from a famous person. I want you to think about that. Hold that thought for just one moment. And I'm going to tell you right now the most important thing that you need to know. Did everybody get that? Everybody get that? Yes? No? A silent voice is an ineffective voice. I now would like to be able to introduce our main speaker tonight. I've had a great opportunity to meet this gentleman. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I personally was conflicted when I read all the information and started talking about him and reading about him. I spoke significantly over the last several weeks with Mike Farrell and several other of the organizers for this event. And I had a wonderful day today, spending most of the day with Sheriff Richard Mack from Arizona, and I'm honored to have him in our county.